Hey guys, welcome back to the Lucy Show. Hope you guys are all doing well today. Hi there, legend. Welcome. I originally wanted to do my live stream while doing my crunches again in the living room, but I failed as usual, and I ended up racking up 800 crunches, which I still have to do today, or else I will not allow myself to sleep. But I wasn't able to do the stream while doing my crunches like I want to in order to maximize my time because my living room is still filled with a bunch of suitcases that I've been working on for the past couple of days. Well, working on it for the past couple of days and going to Disney at the same time. So that probably put me off track. But either way, no regrets, never any regrets whenever I go to Disneyland. Um, yeah, it's just really, really hard to unpack my entire 5 years of life, I guess, out of suitcases. Um, and it's terrible. I highly do not recommend anybody put their stuff away for that many years, especially depends on what. Like if you put away a marble cutting board like I did and wooden charcuterie board, it's fine. They still stay the same. But I put away like this leather belt. I don't know if it's even real leather or fake leather. It's probably fake leather. And the the belt started to peel off, and then I was so scared earlier because I put the belt with a bunch of other, like, bags, purses inside this, like, other giant bag, and then there were all these little black pieces, so before I noticed that the belt was just basically crumbled throughout the years, I saw these little black pieces in the bag, and then I was like, "Oh my god, is that, like, rat poop or something? Like, did a rat get inside my suitcase? Am I about to find, like, a dead rat in here?" Like, I was so disturbed for way too long until I realized, okay, it's like probably the belt. It's probably the belt just like peeling apart. Cause then later I saw the belt and I saw like it was peeling off and it's a black belt. So I'm like, okay, like it's probably just the belt. There's probably no rats in here. But that thoroughly freaked me out. And then there was this other suitcase. Well, it was more of like a luggage, I guess. It was not a suitcase. I was unpacking it, and I don't know if I'm just oblivious or something, but yesterday I was so grossed out. I saw this monster of a warm looking caterpillar thing. I wish I took a picture of it, but I was just not in the right mindset in order to take a picture or a video. I should have made it into a reel, but I was literally just high pitched screaming because I was so shook that I was near the bag. I was near the bag for like about 10 minutes. I was unpacking. And then when I like just I guess, unpacked almost 50% of this bag. It's like this bag that's this big. I was like moving like this on top of the bag, and it was like, I swear to God, it was this big. It was thing that was this big, and it looked like a caterpillar, except I'm not really sure if it was a caterpillar. And caterpillars, I think, are like a green or like whatever, but this one was like it was beige, grayish, and then also black. It looked like it was a mutant molding caterpillar, and it was crawling like slowly, but also looked really quick for like a worm or whatever, which is going like this up and down on the luggage. Oh my god, it was so disgusting. I did not want to kill it or whatever, so just ended up having it tossed outside, shook the luggage, and then just shook off. Yeah, I don't even want to like squeeze that. I don't even want to like take a tissue and I don't really feel the need to kill bugs unless they like, now I don't care for mosquitoes or like little fruit flies. I'll just clap it with my hands. Like I've gotten to the point of like adulthood where I don't care about that anymore. When I was younger, I was like, I'm never touching that with my hands. I'm not even going to kill it with my hands. Now I just smack at them, but I can't smack something that's squishy like a worm because to me, if I smacked it, like I would just be more disturbed for like the rest of my life. Hi there, Zombie Doge Army. Welcome. Um, Hi there, Henry. Welcome to the stream. Zombie and Alan and everyone. Never buy a middle seat. Those heavies on window and aisle on purpose in hopes no one would choose the middle seat. LOL. I always choose aisle. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm guilty of that. If I were to go on a trip with my SO or really anybody else, friends or whatever, if I were the one to buy the ticket, I am one of those people. I pull those tricks because usually I like to, yeah, get the two seats like not the middle seat. If there's 3 seats in a row, I try to get the left and the right and then not the one in the middle in hopes that nobody would be like a single passenger wanting to ride with 2 random strangers, but it happens. Usually I win though. Usually nobody gets that middle seat and then me and my SO or whoever I'm traveling with ends up with the whole seat to ourselves. And sometimes you just get lucky even if you do choose to sit together and then nobody's sitting on that side seat anyways, the no single rider. But it is a good way. It is a good way to go about it. But I don't feel guilty. I don't feel guilty because I'm not taking up the space of somebody else. So when I saw this news, Henry, um, I didn't read thoroughly through it, but now I have an article I found that apparently has Twitter like images, photos, and everything that this lady, I think somebody put it on YouTube. I'm not gonna waste my time and watch it on YouTube since it's all in an article right now. But I love how much traction this is getting because this is actually like a big deal. By the way, smash that like button if you have not already for my channel. Much appreciated, whether you are new here or you've been here for a while. Tap that like button. It is absolutely free to do so. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. Always make sure to turn on the notification bell if you want to know whenever my live streams begin. I hate mosquitoes too, Ellen, like with a passion. I want to kill all the mosquitoes out there, or I just wish that we had the system that Singaporeans have, because apparently in Singapore, I saw this through like a NAS Daily video where they like genetically engineered mosquitoes, like other mosquitoes, to pair with I guess the non-engineer mosquitoes. And like anytime they do a pairing and they have babies or whatever, baby mosquitoes, those mosquitoes like don't bite humans. Like they'll just fly around, but they'll never bite you. So really, really cool stuff. But do your own DT entertainment purposes only. I kind of wish that they did that for mosquitoes because then I don't really care if they're not going to sting me, right? Anyways, so I saw that news and it just really, I guess, shook me because what I first heard about like this whole American airline situation is that supposedly a lady sat in, so this is long story short, she was on an American Airlines flight. I don't know exactly which month because obviously it took time for it to blow up and for the news to pick it up. I think the news was talking about it like 3 days ago, but I just heard about it today. So she bought a seat in between two people. And I think those two people knew each other. And those two people, she claimed, just squeezed her into her seat. So basically, they were taking up way more space than what was probably on the fine line, and they were basically squeezing her and she didn't have much space. So then she, I guess, wanted to be compensated. I don't know what she said afterwards to American Airlines, so we'll read that together. But apparently American Airlines, and this is just what I heard from like whatever news outlet that I was listening to this on, that American Airlines, I don't think gave her all of her money back for that flight, or I don't think they really compensated to the extent that I personally think that she deserves to be. And even the news outlet, I forget if it was CNN or Fox News or whoever was reporting it, but even the news outlet that was talking about this, they were on the side of American Airlines, which really, really confused me because I'm going to do a poll here, but maybe I'm usually just don't go with the flow and my mindset doesn't really align with what everybody else thinks. But when you buy a ticket, doesn't shouldn't the like it's not like you have plexiglass around your seat. I kind of wish it did. But I think it should be a general rule, like an unsaid rule that nobody should invade your private space, right? Like nobody in the front of my seat should be sticking their fingers in front of my face during my flight. They shouldn't be like reaching backwards and going like this throughout the flight. And I shouldn't have fingers like in front of my face during my flight because that's my bubble. That's my space. There's no line there that says that's my bubble, but that is my bubble. So I also believe that if somebody is taking up so much space that it's getting into my airspace, then that's wrong. And I should be moved up. Like I'd be really pissed. Feel like that lady should have been moved up to any seat available, whether it's business class or first class. And even if there were absolutely no seats available, which I'm hoping that American Airlines probably did try to switch her to another spot. But if there was no other spot available, then I feel like at bare minimum, at least 50% of the cost of the flight, if not the whole thing, to be honest. I feel like I would deserve the entire flight free if that was the situation. Like imagine paying $1,000 or something and you're flying for like more than 8 hours and you're just like this. Why? Why do you deserve to have that happen to you? So I definitely disagree with like the news outlet that I heard this from and stating like, oh, it's really not anybody's problem if you happen to sit between two people who happen to squeeze you. I think that is completely up to the airline to deal with. And yeah, it is unfortunate. Okay, we can maybe say that we're not going to have the people sitting next to us forced to pay more money Sure, if you want to deal with it like that. But I feel like that it is up to the airlines, which we know have a lot of money to then compensate us. But I'm gonna ask you guys, and if you missed this live stream, let me know down in the comment section below if you think that I'm being too hard on the airlines, and you think that if that happened to you and two people squeezed you and you're sitting in the middle and you literally are going like this through the whole flight, or maybe they're touching your face, maybe they're touching your hair, and you think that that's okay, that they invaded your personal space and that you don't deserve any compensation. So just let me know. Do you think that airlines should compensate in these situations? That is the question. Yes or no? Oh, I mean, compensate fully, actually. 100% of the ticket is what I mean. Because I don't call it a compensation if you get like a $50 voucher. No, thank you. I'm like 6'1" and I can't fit in those seats without my legs sideways, Alan says. Okay, so you're tall. You're so tall that you can't fit into the seats properly without moving your legs towards the side. But if you move your legs to the side, does that mean you're blocking like the the walkway of other people? Is that the case then? But I know that there are seats on on the airplanes. Like it doesn't have to be business class or first class though. I think it's like near the emergency exit. I'm pretty sure there are seats that give you a lot of leg space, but usually they charge you more for that. But I feel like that should be something that the airlines should deal with. Like if you happen to be tall, you well, if they're okay with you blocking their space, moving your legs, then that's fine. But otherwise, I think they should move you to a space that allows you for your leg room because they're letting people kind of squeeze into other people's personal space anyways. And I think what really pisses me off is that if you think about it, this just comes down to like okay, nobody cares because you're sitting in economy. I'm assuming this is economy, but I'll double check reading the article. But I feel like obviously how it works is if you're rich enough and you have enough money, okay, you're flying business class or first class where that most likely wouldn't happen to you. Or you're just flying a private jet like Kim Kardashian, which also you have enough space. So it's more of like just economy, us regular people, if we have these problems and we're uncomfortable in our seats, it's just kind of like the big corporations just like, okay, we'll just deal with it. Deal with it. Deal with it, make more money or go business class. I feel like that's kind of how they are painting it. Like reading this news, it just makes me really angry. And if you think about it, all these rules that do respect your private space go for people who have money. Who has money? People who own houses. When you own a house, you don't expect other people to build, let's say, a balcony that extends over your roof. You don't because you have rights to certain airspaces. Obviously, dependent on what country you live in, how much rights you have is a completely different story, right? In China, you can't actually own land and say you own it because really the government owns it. So it's all different rules. But at least in America here, I know if I buy my house, which I don't own this house, but if I buy my own house, my roof, I know nobody, no corporations, no other homes are going to build, let's say, a balcony right above my head because they can't, because that's my right. But why is it that our personal spaces are not respected when we're just flying in economy as what poor people? So that really pisses me off. Anyways, really just had to voice that one. And you guys are like, yes, 88% believe 100% in these situations. Airlines should compensate. Love it. Okay, we can agree on that. So this is from DH News. American Airlines compensates flyer wedged between two obese people is what they're calling it. And this is from October 18, 2022. You have a picture of the lady and it says, wow, she took serious images. I mean, I can't even tell what that is. Okay, let me post this what I'm reading to you guys and you can take a look. I don't know if you guys can tell what that is. Like I'm trying to see. Okay, I see. Oh, okay. She took a picture. I think that's her shoulder. I want to say. I don't know. Like the red jacket, like the red and the black jacket. I feel like that's her shoulder, and I think she's taking an image of how she's just kind of like obviously, really tightly shoulder to shoulder. I think so. She tweeted, and this is Dr. Sydney Watson. Okay, I don't know what kind of doctor she is, but she said. I am currently literally wedged between two obese people on my flight. This is absolutely not acceptable or okay. If fat people want to be fat, fine. But it is something else entirely when I'm stuck between you with your arm rolls on my body for 3 hours. I was so glad for her. It was only 3 hours. Jesus Christ. Imagine that being 10 hours. And then she like posted an image onto Twitter. Wow. And then she said, I don't care if this is mean. My entire body is currently being touched against my wishes. I can't even put the armrest down on either side because there's no effing room. I'm sick of acting like fatness to this extent is normal. Let me assure you, it is not. Update. Both the fats Oh my gosh, she just called them both the fats are sweating on me. I'm not sure if I would call people like I'm for her on this whole topic. Like I do think that she doesn't deserve this and she deserves at least minimum 100% of the compensation. Maybe even a free flight thrown in by American Airlines. I probably wouldn't go about calling people online or offline both the fats because I think that wouldn't really be a good way for you to make an argument and say like this is just like you got to focus on the topic, right? Like I think if you're trying to make a point, you shouldn't be calling people names of any kind. Obese, sure. Fat people, yeah, even, but fats, like that's actually new to me. I don't really hear people saying fats. But sure. Both the fats are sweating on me. Have realized if I lean forward, I am less crushed. Only drawback is the man in front of me has his seat back, and I keep getting smacked in the head when he adjusts his chair. Humiliating. And then afterwards, she says, I said to the man, hey, can we swap seats if you'd like to sit together? His sister is on my left. He says, no, that's okay. And then I started shrieking internally. A woman flying with American Airlines wrote a thread on Twitter complaining about being squeezed between two obese people on a flight, and she has been compensated. Good to know. I am currently literally wedged between two. So, okay, so this is October 3rd. This happened. She was flying from New York to Dallas. This is absolutely not acceptable. Okay, so then they just repost everything on here. If you need, wait, hold on. In her thread, the flyer said she didn't care if she was being mean. Okay, and then it said, quote, if you need a seatbelt extender, you are too fat to be on a plane. Buy two seats or don't fly. Is there seatbelt extenders? I'm so shook right now. I didn't know you could extend your seatbelts. So like, do the like, do the stewardesses, like, bring you a seatbelt extender of some sort if you can't fit into your seatbelt? I guess that does make sense. I mean, those things goes pretty, like, wide. Anyways, it says in one of the tweets, Watson tagged American Airlines saying, "We need to talk." The carrier replied by saying their passengers come in all different shapes and sizes, and what they were sorry and that they were sorry the doctor was uncomfortable on her flight. Wow. We do know passengers come in all different shapes and sizes. Actually, what I'm curious of is do they make you buy 2 seats? Like, what if you literally like, obviously, these 2 people did not take up 2 full seats, but obviously, there are people out there who do need 2 seats. So in that case, American Airlines just let it slide because they said people come in all shapes and sizes. Do they just give up a seat? Like, they give up extra money, extra profit that they could have made off of 2 tickets because somebody is obese? Do they just let them sit? That would be pretty interesting. Imagine if everybody who took a plane ended up in the next, I don't know, 30, 40 years, we all generally need 2 seats. And then are they gonna raise the prices? Do you think they're gonna raise the prices? I think they're gonna raise prices. It says the thread was met with criticism and uproar. With people asking why Watson did not simply pay for a different flight class. Wow. Or opt for an aisle or window seat if she desired more relaxing seating. Seriously, if you don't want to be treated like a sardine, you have had to pay for that, wrote Australian Gamer. That's been a factor of airline flight for decades at least. What class of ticket did you pay for? Seriously, if you don't want to be treated like sardine, that's been a factor airline flight for decades at least. We're not in the 70s anymore. Personal space means paying for a class that provides it. Wait, what was it like in the 70s? You didn't have first class and business class? That's gotta be embarrassing to have to ask for seatbelt extended, Zombie Doge Army says. I don't know, man. I feel like some people or most people that do ask for the special perks are probably used to it. It might not even be like an embarrassing thing anymore. To be honest, if I was actually like this was not something I don't even know if it's physically possible for me because I feel like for some people it's not physically possible to get to like 300 pounds, right? Like some people want to gain weight, they want to work out and they just can't. But I don't even think it's possible if I want to be 300 pounds. But anyways, let's say I was naturally born 300 pounds and I just can't help it. It is just a medical condition, which is no fault of my own. And then I think honestly, you probably get a lot of perks. I'm assuming, again, do your own DD, but I see the people like riding around at Disney, like on those little like electric mopeds or whatever those cart thingies. I don't think they have to pay Disney for that. So I feel like in a sense, you do have perks by, I don't know if that's considered like if you're over 300 pounds legally disabled to an extent. If you like, it's not your fault and you just, keep gaining weight to a certain extent. But yeah, I feel like people do get a lot of perks and they may get used to it. And then it just comes down to probably not being embarrassed if you have to ask for an extender. Plane keep adding more seats. Sucks to fly now. Usually you want to pay first. Usually, unless you want to pay first class, can't afford first class though, Henry. Real Black Betty, she's brutal. I love her. She's oh my god, Alan, she's stuck between whales out of water. Sydney is freaking awesome. Are you okay, Lucy Sam? Yeah, I am, but I'm a little bit also very out of it, just off topic from this article, which I'm going to be done reading very soon. And then I have to go and clean out more of my luggage. Is that I am actually like, I think I'm losing it a little bit. Uh, if you saw my short video on this channel earlier, that was me. And I highly recommend if anybody is so stressed out and you want to scream, but you can't because you have roommates or whatever the heck, or you just don't want to disturb your neighbors. I I was able to express myself and get out some serious anger I had just now by doing a short video where I voiced or used a voiceover clip, mouthed screaming from Regina George from Mean Girls, because that's actually how I felt. I was so mad earlier because I made this. Okay, so I recorded my reaction video to a K-pop girl group, their new song, Boys Like You, which you guys will see later on this channel for those of you guys that know K-pop or not. Anyways, it was a reaction video. To edit reaction videos, it does take some time. It takes more than 30 minutes. So I spent like an hour on that. I edited it for an hour. It took time to upload then onto my laptop and then upload onto YouTube. So when I was uploading it onto YouTube, like some part of me, I was texting my friend at the same time. I was like reading news and then I was like doing stuff on YouTube and I just like completely forgot that I was still uploading the video and it wasn't complete. It wasn't done uploading. And then I was like also trying to clean up my computer. So I was like deleting stuff like I always do and I deleted the file that was being uploaded. And then next thing you know, I get this notification from YouTube that says your video is forever just canceled. Like it cannot be uploaded anymore, some like random issue. And I'm like, what random issue? And then I realized I had deleted the video. I was so mad. I was livid. And sadly, this is not the first time that it happened to me. I mean, like this exact process first time, but like this has happened to me so many times where like I will accidentally delete a video that I spent so much time on. And the anger towards myself is just, I can't even put it in words. Like I just literally, like I was about to black out from like how pissed off I was. And like, when you're mad at yourself, you can't like I'm not one to like, even knock myself in the head or, in any type of abuse to myself, I would not do. So yeah, I was really, really mad. And the only way to handle my anger was to make a short video where I was pretending to scream that loudly, without being able to scream that loudly. No, don't go yet, Lucy. Zombie Doge Army says, why? What do you got to say? If you got to say something, say it now, guys, or forever hold your peace. But I'm not done reading that video. But yeah, that's just kind of what I'm dealing with right now. I'm dealing with like a lot of stress, but sometimes I don't even realize that I'm stressed out, I guess. Or maybe I'm just thinking about like 10 things at the same time. Like I'll think about like three different topics and then also reading the news and texting people and just yeah, sometimes I like, think I'm responding back to my friends, like a text message that they sent me and they don't actually respond back like 3 days later. And then I feel horrible. That's really because in my mind I thought I made a response, but really I was doing a live stream while that was happening, so I couldn't really respond back or I was like looking at the stock market or crypto market or reading news or whatever. It's just insane. But more to you loving her brutalness, Alan. I think that it's really, really good that she voiced her opinion. And I like that at least she's speaking up. Like, she probably knew, like, with this culture on Twitter, most likely people were going to try to cancel her, or most likely she was going to get a lot of hate. But I respect that, even like, if you have an opinion, you should just honestly say it because I'm totally against cancel culture. And there's going to be, like, sure, people who like disagree with you, but I definitely think that it's still important to like say what you mean. And as long as you're not just saying stupid things out there, like if you don't agree with someone, like shut up, shut up, shut up, then I think it's fine to voice your opinion and list the reasons why you're unhappy. Um, Well, Lisa says, okay, I'm still reading the article now. It says, know how to solve a problem, doc? Buy first class. No touching there, problem solved. There are a lot of flights to choose from. You chose to take this said yes to middle seat. Why are people just blaming this woman when she got a bad seat? I feel like this is like a clear situation. At least I personally think that everybody who is talking down to her and saying like, "Oh, too bad, you should just have more money to buy first class." Like they would probably not be singing the same tune if that was happening to them because I guarantee you, I don't expect anybody to be a happy camper if that were happening to them. Luckily, that's never happened to me before, but I have sat in pretty uncomfortable situations. Like mostly I think with like either crying babies or like stinky people, like not and this I guess this kind of happened to me at Disneyland too. I don't think I've ever and I don't think I ever will like walk up to someone and be like you smell horrible or like you have very bad BO. You should not be lining up in a place where it's very tightly knit like Disneyland, without some deodorant. Like, I don't do that, maybe because 'cause I'm just not confrontational enough or I don't wanna be punched in the face. Uh, but, yeah, like, I was actually lining up behind somebody, at Disneyland, and I literally had to be like I had to, like, walk backwards so I could get away from the smell, and it's just mind-boggling. Um, if they're alone and I feel like, okay, maybe no one's telling them, but it's sad to me because they're like, I swear it was a couple. There was this lady next to this guy, and I swear there were a couple or whatever. Like to me, I was just thinking, like, why? Why is she not telling him that he smells so bad and that he needs to like put on a t-shirt? Like this guy was wearing was it like a wife beater or whatever? Like, why? Just like spreading the disgusting smell everywhere. And it's like if I can smell that in open air, just imagine lining up with him at like Star Wars Resistance, you know? Like it's just I was in open air and it was only like probably 10 minutes of my life, but it was horrible. And I know it's also like out of people's control, but it is actually a little bit in your control. Like get maybe better deodorant or figure out ways to like put on a t-shirt. Like if I actually just smell bad all the time, I feel like I would do the public service and put on like more clothing, even if it's super hot outside. Like I'd rather do that than like disturb somebody's great time at Disneyland. I still had a great time though, but yeah. So I think like on flights, that also pisses me off. Like I've sat next to people who are like have disgustingly stinking feet and then they will like take off their shoes. Just like absolutely shameless. I mean, I'm all for the shamelessness. Like they don't care. Like live your life, you know? Like if you want to dress up like some crazy person or you want to take off your shoes, you want to walk around outside, be my guest. But on a flight, stinking up the entire place with their shoes off, socks off, sorry, socks off, everything off. And this is not like you came in with your flip flops and your feet don't stink. This is like they know they have smelly feet. They took off their disgusting shoes with their sneakers off, socks off. Like, also, I don't know what it is. I feel like I'd rather be squeezed between two people in an economy than be sitting anywhere on the plane next to somebody who like has disgustingly smelly feet. Sorry, I'm really just spreading all of this pumped up, I guess, anger I have for strangers that have no respect for public. Like, I think there's a difference between like YOLOing and not caring. Like, I don't really care a lot about a lot of things. And I feel like I get looks from people when I walk outside with my rollers in my hair or take a 8-hour flight with rollers in my hair. There's a difference with like not caring what other people think and then like literally stepping into other people's personal space or in my case, like my airspace and ruining my life. Louder with Crowder is great. I remember from Glenn Beck. Daily Wire is actually one of the fastest growing independent news organizations. Now, Alan says, Henry, those are classic clips. I love the Crowder Change My Mind campus videos, especially arguing with nonsense leftists and universities. I love Ben's reaction. She should have asked for another seat. It was sold out plain, and that's unlikely. Shapiro, I love Ben Shapiro's videos are great. Henry says Lucy is talking almost as fast as Ben Shapiro. I don't think I could talk as fast as him because I don't think I can think as fast as him. I really admire like how quick I guess he can think because I've seen some of his videos where he's just like people just come up with questions or statements and he'll just attack. He'll like destroy people through words. Kind of awesome sometimes. I don't agree with every single thing that Ben Shapiro says, just like I don't agree with every single thing that people say, any one single human being, but I do enjoy. watching his interviews. Okay, let's see how this whole thing ended. Watson says she received tons of emails, messages, and tweets from people calling her fat phobic, which she found funny. The fact that this is considered fat shaming, or the fact that this is considered offensive and inappropriate, really speaks to how regressive we are as a society, she said in her video. Oh, I guess, does she have a YouTube account, or did she just do this because, like, did she create a YouTube account because of this? I wonder. I didn't consent to being touched for hours on end. I didn't consent to having no personal space, to being sweat on. It is actually wild how many people over the last few days have complained about my fat shaming while simultaneously mocking me for being thin, Dr. Sydney Watson stated. Given thin people are a minority, I won't stand for this discrimination. The YouTuber, okay, so she's a YouTuber. The YouTuber ended the video saying she was not sorry for what she said and that she was glad this situation made some people laugh. Watson has made content against fat acceptance, woke culture, feminism, and transgender people in the past. On Monday, the disgruntled flyer received an email from American Airlines, who saw the correspondence on Twitter. Their representative offered Watson a US $150 trip credit coupon. Oh my God. That is not good, in my opinion. And then she posted, well, here's the email I got from American Airlines. And it said, hold on. It says, I sincerely regret the enjoyment and comfort of your flight. AA was diminished due to another customer exceeding their seat space, American Airlines wrote in the email shared by Watson as a screenshot. I love how the way they worded it was diminished due to another customer exceeding their seat space. No, they exceeded themselves onto my seat space. But anyways, it says we do our best to avoid uncomfortable situations regarding seats. I can understand your disappointment with the situation not being remedied to your satisfaction. Wait, let's see what else they wrote. It's kind of tiny, but it says, based on what I have read, Dr. Watson, it seems that our flight attendants were not able to make changes to the seating arrangement. I'm sure you know in the future you are always welcome to discuss the matter with our flight attendants. If we have other available seats, you'll be allowed to move so that you can better enjoy your flight. As a gesture of goodwill, I have issued you a $150 trip credit, which will arrive via a separate email. Trip credits are valid for 12 months from the date of issue. Oh my God. I think that's kind of, I don't know how you guys take it. Let me know in the comment section, but I take that as kind of a slap to the face because I've received $100 literally from American Airlines. Those coupon vouchers that expire in about 12 months, I received them for, you know what? When they like delay the flight landing. Like, I've had one time, I swear it was them. I'm almost pretty sure it was them that I was about to land, and I think something happened, and it was really, really delayed, or we had to move to actually like another airport, and then therefore from the other airport had to shuttle bus to LAX. So it was pretty rough. And everybody, pretty much everybody who had the sense to go and ask for vouchers got about $100. So for her dealing with that to only get $150, and for people who just have like delayed flights, which happens all the time, to get $100, I think is just really not nice. I don't think that that's proper compensation. I definitely wouldn't be happy with it, but I don't really see her response on this article anymore. Let's see what other people are saying. So about 2 days ago, Tom says, sorry, but if I were in that position, I wound up with air marshals hauling me off that plane. Congrats on the self-constraint. I've had this happen as well. At one point, I felt I was going to pass out. It wasn't American Airlines, but needs to be addressed as a health safety violation. The comments are gold. Okay, wait. Economy class or not, she paid for her seat and she is entitled to it. Damn right, McGill. I agree with that. She does not need to share that paid seat with anyone. Flying economy means less comfort, less perks, less leg room. But again, if it does not mean that you have to share your seat with other people. Based on the naive responses, people seem to believe it's fine to have others invading your personal space, which again, I feel like is just what people are saying because they're not in the situation. I highly doubt that they're going to be saying the same thing if that happened to them. Next thing, which I really hope that those people who are saying that she deserves to be there, I hope they fly economy too and that eventually happens to them. Next thing you'll see is a parent flying alone with two babies and expect that one of the kids will be flying on the lap of the stranger sitting next to them. After all, it's economy class, so strangers supposed to put up with it. My mother once flew 9 hours with a stranger's dog sitting on her feet. No F way I would tolerate that. Actually, I'd be okay with a stranger's dog if it's a cute dog, if it was a Shiba Inu. The fun of flying economy class. I don't remember not being able to sleep due to crying babies almost all night. But again, I will take crying babies over invading my personal space with other people's bodies exceeding over their seat. And then last but not least, the worst one is definitely smelly people. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining me on my live stream. I'm glad that we agree with each other on how airlines should definitely compensate minimum 100%, which American Airlines sadly did not do. That's not what's supposed to mean, Henry. You need to gain weight, Alan, and not just a pure cut. I got no gut, bro. All right, nice, Alan. Do you guys all know what each other like, what you guys look like? Or you're just kidding around? So I'm like, how could you tell from like a simple profile picture? But anyways, guys, good night. Wish me luck. I need to finish unpacking and then somehow do my 800 crunches. And so that way in the future, I can go back to my living room and still kill two birds with one stone and be able to do my future 200 crunches, sorry, 200 sit-ups while doing live streams with you guys. But good night. It's been lovely. See you soon.